lifting off his new orbital command and landing it is going to be landing it down in his natural expansion area, as we see some phoenixes coming into the back of his base, gonna try to do some harassment, maybe. No, but those Marines do repel that attack, as we see.
The CSV transfer is going down to his natural, and he's loaded his bunker up with Marines. So BC should be relatively safe. He's just got to stop Fana, keep harassing him with these phoenixes. But I think Fana stopped making them now. Yeah, there's no more coming out. He's throwing down his third gateway. So yeah, we could see some early aggression soon, or an expansion.
And there is the expansion for sure. And the only aggression we are seeing is from these Phoenix going around trying to do some harassment. But there is a nice Marine spread in BCQT's base. He's got them all in nice areas, making sure that he's going to be able to defend against any type of harassment coming in from these Phoenix. Ooh, but they pick off a mule and an SCV and another SCV. These Marines are taking their time getting over there.
Yeah, definitely. And not even are these slowing down his supply depots and bunkers. They're also getting all the scouting information of what he is actually building.
That's right.
They have seen the tanks come out, so yeah, he's seen he has got Marine tank.
And Siege Tank Tech is finished, apparently, and we also see Fana with the expansion finishing up. We also have a Robo facility, so 3-gate Robo along with his Stargate. Interesting play here from Fana, but he is trying to keep up on that harassment as he takes out another unit, and he takes out that Marine as it explodes in the air, because every time you lift something off with a Phoenix and kill it, it blows up.
Yeah, missile turret gone down in the natural. Good choice there by Beastie. And one in the main, so I think those Phoenixes are going to be pretty useful in a few minutes' time. Pretty useless, I should say.
And we see an armory going down from Beastie QT, and as well as 2 more factories. We're going to see his famous mech play, where he overloads on a bunch of a bunch of different mech builds. And here you go. I can't talk, but anyways, we will see some Thors coming out anyway. And these Phoenixes still running around. 4 of them still alive out of the 5 that were built. We also see level 1 attack upgrades going down for the vehicles of Beastie QT. And here comes some Phoenixes to try to do some work. As there is a missile turret, they do take out 1 SCV. That starport is being built right now on this reactor core, and these factories are getting tech labs, of course. Of course. And we're going to start to see more and more Thors being pumped out from Beastie QT, and as well as some tanks.
Yeah, Beastie did lift off his barracks, which had the factory on it. He's just put a starport on it so he can start pumping out a lot of Vikings to deal with Colossi or Medivacs. But yeah, it seems that mech players become extremely popular since the GSL, and Jinro started using it a lot, and it's proven very effective if you do like 2 Thor pushes. They're really deadly to Protoss if you can't hold them off.
That's for sure. And we've also seen Beastie QT at the CraftCup do some impressive mech play with the Thors and tanks and Hellions and everything, just some great matches. Anyways, Beastie QT is currently still upgrading, and he is now getting the flame upgrade for the Hellions and starting to pump out more and more Hellions. We also see in Fana's base that we have Thermal Lance going down, as well as some Colossus coming out. Some more gateways being placed down. We are sitting at Fana with 6 warp gates, as well as another expansion going down from Fana right now. So he's going to have an earlier expansion than Beastie QT will have. It looks like Beastie QT is sending out this pack of Marines to get some information, as well as maybe even sacrifice them. We'll see what happens with these Marines as they push forward into the Zelnaga watchtower, destroy the probe, move forward, and here comes some Phoenixes to try to pick off some of these Marines. One of them does go down, and Zelnaga watchtower is being taken. Oh, look at this! Beastie QT with the scout gonna go up and see Fana's newly built expansion, as we see a command center being built right now from BCQT. Now that he knows his opponent is planning for the expansion and has it down, we see more and more Hellions out and on the field, as well as tanks and Thors. Level 2 attack upgrades for the vehicles is going down, as well as another robotics facility by Fana. Probably going to see more and more Colossus being you know, morphed into the field, or warped into the field anyway.
Yeah, it's quite surprising that Beastie actually hasn't got the stim pack yet, or the combat shield, or the concussive shells. So I think the Marines were purely just because of the Phoenix. I don't think he was actually trying to plan for that kind of opening. I think Fana was a bit overconfident with those Phoenixes, taking that third expansion so early. But it seems it has paid off for him.
And it looks like we got Phoenixes moving in the back, as well as units by Fana moving into the middle of the map. Going to try to take a more defensive position, so he's going to be able to you know, hold his newly built and newly transferred to expansion. And we see some Hellions going around doing some scouting work, as well as Marine getting picked up there. And these Marines are in some big trouble right now as those two Colossus with the thermal lance move forward. Two forges just finished up. We're going to see some upgrades coming down from Fana right now, as Beastie QT has a whole mess load of tanks, as well as some Thors out on the field. He is moving some Hellions around, and look at that! They get right past everything and get right into this natural expansion and start taking out these probes as they do get lifted off and attacked. We do see a dropship moving back and forth, going around. There was probably a drop going down, but we did miss it.
Yeah, the Hellion was good while he was moving out his army. He obviously saw them. The Colossi were, and the Stalker Ball was way out of position, so he could easily get them. I really think he should have gone for the third expansion, as he's, you know, very far from his natural.
Yeah, the orbital command just finished up now, and it looks like he is going for the expansion push as he sends out unsieges and sends out all of his tanks as well as his Thors. We also see two more factories going down and turrets being built all over the place. And it looks like BCQT is going to expand in the closest expansion area to him, as we've got Phoenixes sitting up here, and if BCQT were to expand up here, he would be seen. But he will be seen anyway, just because there are the control of that Xel'Naga watchtower. And actually, the control gets rendered from Fana to no one, as Fana pushes forward a little bit and sees all these bunkers being built. And
yeah,
here we go.
I think BCT might have a problem with the Phoenixes, because they can lift up tanks. They cannot lift up Thors, however. But he really doesn't have that much anti-air.
You know, he does have 4 Vikings out, and those Thors are, you know, I think the Thors are going to be enough to hold the Phoenix. It just depends on how Fana micros up his Phoenix. We also see Fana. Now let's go ahead and concentrate on Fana a little bit and see what he's building here. We see three more gateways coming in. And so far we've got 6, so it's gonna, we're gonna be at 9 gateways, as well as the Templar archives going down. We're gonna see some high Templars, maybe even some awesome storm action, as we see some upgrades going down right now on these forges, and on the Twilight Council we see an upgrade for Blink Stalkers. And now looking at the income tab, we do see that they are sitting at about the same amount of harvesters to each other, and have about the same economy. Even though Fana has this 4th expansion up here at the north of the map, we do see we see mass expanding and more gateways being placed down. A lot of warp inability is going to be happening here. He's going to be able to warp in so many units as long as he keeps his economy right. And we see PCQT taking over this side of the map, putting down another command center, going to be expanding again. And look at oversaturation for sure, as we've got a bunch of mules and SCVs sitting on this one, on that one mineral line here, as Beastie QT trying to gather more and more and get more and more Thors out on the field. We see level 3 attack upgrades for the vehicles going down. They are currently sitting at level 2, of course. No armor upgrades, or plating upgrades, if you will, for the vehicles at the moment. But we do see Fana sitting at, is going to be sitting at 110, as in the ways of defense and attack for his Protoss ground units here in just a few minutes. We see storms being researched right now. What do you got to say, man? This is shaping up to be a pretty crazy end of the match here.
Yeah, I mean, upgrades are heavily favored favored for Beastie. I mean, he does have 2 attack upgrades for all of his mech units, so really a push now would be very deadly for Fana. He doesn't actually see the Ghost Academy. He didn't scout that. He's getting cloak for the Ghosts. And if that finishes up and he can drop some good EMPs, those High Templar are going to be worthless.
That's
and
right.
He's just going to completely steamroll Fana.
And maybe we'll even see Beastie QT throw down a nuke for everybody watching.
He may do. It's good Hellion harass though. He did manage to get in 2 earlier, and he actually got 7 kills on one of them on the 3rd expansion. So he is managing to sneak in a lot of harassment, even though he is turtling up kind of hard in the middle of the map.
Oh man, we see 5 factories going down. He is pushing out. He's going to be pushing out the tech hardcore here as we see another expansion going down from Fana, and Fana pushing forward a little bit. Are we seeing a 200-200 battle? Yes, we are at full supply cap for both VCQT and Fana as the siege tank siege Guardian Shield's going down. Massive storms left and right, storms all over the place as all of the ground units get taken out by VCQT's tanks. And Fana has to push back with these Colossus, and he's going to have to warp in more and more units as these Vikings try to pick off the Colossus. And we've got VCQT sieging up his tanks behind the line. Not going to be able to be seen there, and look at that, those Colossus getting picked off. And it looks like Fana is sitting on basically no more army. 2 Colossus, 2 High Templars, and 1 Phoenix. What a massive storms. And look at this, man. All of BCQT's tanks are pretty much sitting in the red. That Thor is in the red as well. More and more units are coming out for BCQT. What an attack here in the middle of this map, this great match here. As we see more tanks being pushed out. Mothership, we're going to have a Mobo boat.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he's going for now. He seems to be going for a lot of Immortals, so I think if he scouted early, he should have held off on the Colossi a lot more, but that was purely due to the lack of vision Fana had. Again, very, very good play by VCQT. Sadly, the Ghost didn't manage to drop an EMP. I'm not exactly sure what happened to it. It might have
there is a Ghost still alive, actually, with 200-200 right here in the midst of all the tanks. And
yeah, I didn't see an EMP go off. The shields were still pretty high, so I don't think he managed to get them off.
There's a lot of storms, and maybe it was hard for VCQT because that was a lot of storming, and he does not have that Ghost hotkeyed separately. So
yeah, he got 0-3 currently for VCQT, and I think he's feeling really confident right now, and so he should be.
And you know, really look at all those tanks. As all these Immortals try to soak up the damage and move in closer to try to do more damage. We see some storms going down right now. Those tanks are taking some heavy damage from all those storms, but look at that, those tanks are going to survive and do some mass damage here. What a match, This Mobo boat is out and doing some damage to this sacrifice dropship as units move forward to try to take out this mothership. It goes down. VCQT sieging up his tanks in different areas so that he does not get uber stormed like we saw earlier. As we see this Fana is finally mining off this expansion. We see upgrades going down right now with the Zealot legs as well as some Immortals coming out, and that Immortal is waypointed in a bad place. Oh, nukes! We got some nukes, guys. As we get into it, Fana is being nuked right now. No, it had to be canceled. That Ghost could not drop the nuke. Ah, Fana, why didn't you just let it go?
Yeah, I think that mothership was just way too late. If he would have pulled back a bit, he may have had a better chance in that battle, but the mothership was just way out of position and spawned way too late.
That's right, more Ghosts coming out, and there are Dark Templars as well out, so we're going to need to see some Ravens, but look at this, we've got turrets being placed down, and turrets in the middle of all those tanks are basically untouchable. So it's going to be hard for any Dark Templars to come in and do any harassment. You know, Fana is on the ropes for sure as VCQT pushes in and tries to take out this expansion. Scan does go down, and Fana is going to lose this expansion. VCQT is just mopping up his opponent.
Yeah, it's a very good play, and Mech is surprisingly good versus Protoss. It wasn't really until the GSL it became really mainstream in ladder and everything, but it's proven time and time again to be really good against Protoss.